Good morning. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the State Court of Clayton County. This is courtroom 304. The jail and arraignment calendar for June 3rd of 2025. I'm going to call the arraignment calendar first. It usually tends to be shorter, but today it's a little bit longer. And then we'll move on to the jail calendar. First on the arraignment calendar is Robin Brianna Grace. I do not see an attorney for Miss Grace. Robin Brianna Grace. Last call for Robin Brianna Grace. All right. This is stating bench warrant will be granted. Terez Dion Johnson. This is Taurus Butterfield's case.
Good morning, Judge. This is Shanae Hall sitting in for Attorney Butterfield.
Good morning, Ms. Hall.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. So, Ms. Hall, have you had the opportunity to speak with the state about Mr. Johnson's case? It looks like some stuff that we could clear up today. Butterfield's case.
I have not been able to speak with them yet, but I would like to.
And Your Honor, I can provide Attorney Hall my contact information so that we'll be able to communicate, and I'll still be available on the Zoom call.
All right, that works.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Karen Lyman. Karen Lyman.
I'm here.
All right, Ms. Lyman, may I see you, please? You know how to turn your camera on?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Lyman, you're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you have an attorney to represent?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you wish to have an attorney represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself?
No, I wish to have one.
Okay, and have you hired one, or can you afford to hire one, or do you wish the court to appoint one?
Court appoint me one.
All right, so Ms. Lyman, what I'm going to ask you to do you know how to use the chat function?
I think so. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is when you go on the chat function, you click on that, you're going to see a name in blue. It usually the first name you'll see is everyone, but if somebody sent a chat, it might change to someone else's name. But whatever that name is in blue, click on that and you'll see a pull down menu. So on the pull down menu, you're looking for courtroom 304. When you get to courtroom 304, click on that. You'll see a box open up. I want you to put your first and last name, your phone number, and your email address in that box so you can send it to the attorneys in the courtroom.
Okay, so you said when I click on it, go to courtroom 304.
Yes, ma'am.
And then
when you click on 304 and that box opens up, go ahead and type your name, your first and last name, your phone number, and your email address in that box and hit send.
Okay, I'm doing that now.
All right. Is that Attorney Tortorello?
Yes. Hi, Judge Hayward. How are you?
I must have lived right in my previous life because I keep getting the good people coming back to me. How you doing, ma'am?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much, Judge. I missed you.
I missed you too. How's your family?
Oh, they're very well. My son's good and my husband's very well. So
good. Well, please send my regards to both of them.
Thank you so much, Judge.
All right. So, Miss Lyman, when you get that done, they're going to contact you. So just make sure that you mute your device so that we don't hear your conversation with the attorneys. Okay.
Okay. So
all
you
right.
said send my name, email,
and your phone number.
And phone number.
And your phone number. So,
okay.
Yeah, they may call you, they may text you, so just be prepared for that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Just mute your device and we'll be back with you.
Okay.
All right. Marquez Deshaun Mitchell. This is Lister Holton Dennis.
Do y'all have Mitchell? Do you have Mitchell up?
Marquez Deshaun Mitchell. Have y'all had contact with Mr. Mitchell?
Oh, Judge, I'm sorry. He came on an arraignment calendar and we entered a not guilty plea. And I thought that he was out of custody, but he's listed as an active inmate. However,
I have him on the arraignment calendar, but you said he's active.
I have it as active inmate too, Your Honor. I would just need to, I can see.
Hold on, let me, because I'm on the arraignment calendar, I have him just on the arraignment calendar. Let me see what the jail calendar says.
And say active inmate under the arraignment calendar.
Yeah, mine didn't say active.
If I'm not mistaken, he was on a jail calendar recently and entered a not guilty plea. And I thought that he had,
Well, ask,
He is active.
because maybe he's not active for us.
right? So that he is not up currently?
Uh-huh.
He's in custody on stop sign or yield and also DUI.
Yeah, those are our charges, because he's got 3 before us. But I remember him coming.
I'm not sure if it's the same
the
case
not
or a new
guilties.
case.
How?
I believe he hasn't been brought up right now. I'm gonna ask the deputy whether we're gonna be able to get him up, Judge.
If we can get him up, let's see what's going on, because like I said, I remember the conversation about these charges and I guess the not guilty that was entered.
Because I believe I filed a motion on it already, Judge, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, well, let's find out what's going on. All right, so the next case on the calendar is Andrew Omari Reynolds.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so Mr. Reynolds has 2 cases, both 2023 cases. The first is driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, and failure to have headlights. And then the second is no insurance.
Yes, Judge. And I think we're going to request a conference with Mr. Reynolds, and we may be able to do that by doing a breakout room, and Ms. Tortorella will step into the conference room.
Okay.
Kind of make that go easier.
Mr. Reynolds, what I'm going to do is set up a breakout room. You'll see it. It's not right now. As soon as I finish going through the calendar, but we'll set up a breakout room for you to speak with one of the attorneys. And then once you are finished speaking with her, then we'll have the opportunity to make an announcement on your cases. Okay.
Okay, so what should I do?
Just mute your device. When you'll see me. When we talk about you again, you'll hear me say your name, but you'll see me put you in the breakout room, because you'll get an invitation that flashes up on your screen. Just go into the breakout room and you can have a private conversation with the attorney.
All right, no problem.
All right, so just mute your device right now for me, okay?
All right.
All right. Next on the calendar is Ezra Lamont Stokes. Ezra Lamont Stokes.
I'm here.
All right. Mr. Stokes, hi. So,
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Stokes. I have that you have DUI less safe, open container of a law enforcement officer, improper lane change, impeding traffic, no signal, and marijuana 1 ounce or less. But I don't see an attorney. Did you ever have an attorney on this case?
No, ma'am. My passenger that was in the car with me, he had the marijuana on him, and
Okay,
the
well,
passenger.
don't tell me about your case, because I don't want you to ruin your defense, because there may be things that your attorney needs to talk to you about that I shouldn't hear. Okay.
Okay.
So what I need to know is if you wish to hire an attorney, or if you wish to have the court appoint an attorney for you.
I wish to have the court appoint an attorney.
Okay. So did you hear my conversation with Ms. Lyman? What I want you to do is go to the chat function.
Okay.
You know how to do that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to send everybody a test. So what you'll see is a red box with a white number on it. When you see that, click on it.
Okay.
All right. Do you see it?
No, ma'am.
You don't see a red box or chat or anything pop up on your screen?
No, ma'am. Oh,
I
yes,
need to-
chat. I have chat right now.
Okay, so click on that.
Okay.
All right. When you open it, you should see my name, Judge Hayward, in blue. You see that?
I see your name, but it's not in blue. It says test.
Okay, click on where my name is. Do you see a list that comes down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so I need you to go down that list to courtroom 304. Click on that.
I got it.
All right, when you see the box open, I want you to put your first and last name, your phone number, and your email address, and then hit send.
Okay.
And they're going to contact you by one of those methods.
Put my phone number.
Yes, first and last name, phone number, and email address. They may text you, they may call you.
Okay. I did it.
All right. So mute your device. When you hear me talk about you again, they may ask me to put you in a breakout room, but until then, they may communicate with you by text or phone, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead and mute for me.
All right.
Daryl Deshawn Streeter.
Your Honor, that's my case, if I may. Is Deshawn Streeter present in the Zoom?
Daryl Deshawn Streeter. I do see somebody who's an iPhone. If your designation on the screen is iPhone, please put your first and last name on the screen so we'll know who you are. Last call for Daryl Deshawn Streeter.
And Your Honor, I attempted contact with my client.
Your client is requesting a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
All right, bench warrant bond forfeiture granted. Thank you. Wilson, Jamie Wilson III.
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Wilson, you're before the court for defective headlights and no insurance. You may be able to show that those things have been fixed, and that might help you a little bit. Ms. Ponder, is this one where you're willing to listen to some information presented?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. If I have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Wilson regarding these charges, I'm sure it's something that we can resolve short of a trial.
Mr. Wilson, if you have any information about your headlights being fixed or current insurance, I need you to gather that for me.
Okay, Your Honor, well.
And I can also send him my information, so he'll be able to provide me that information, and we can discuss some resolution, if anything, Your Honor.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Mr. Wilson. Now,
yes,
you're entitled to have an attorney represent you. You're entitled to represent yourself. The state is pretty, they're pretty good at working with you on these types of charges if you can show that you have current insurance or that you've had whatever the defect is fixed. If you want to speak with Ms. Ponder, you have that option.
okay, let me speak to her because I don't have.
Well, don't tell me.
Okay.
You and Ms. Ponder talk that out.
Okay.
I want to. All right. And so what I'm going to do is Ms. Ponder's going to send you her information. So that means you can text her or email her on whatever the information is she sent you. Okay.
Okay.
And at some point she may request a breakout room. And then at that point I would put you in a breakout room so you could speak with her.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to mute. Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, I did send him my contact information through the chat, through a direct message. So once I'm able to communicate, I'll be able to update the court.
All right. So Mr. Wilson, she's going to communicate with you. I'm going to mute you so we don't hear you while we're dealing with other people. And then when it's time to talk to you, I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Next on the arraignment calendar is Blake Maurice Woods. Blake Maurice Woods.
Yes, Your Honor. He's my client. He's present in the courtroom. He's standing right here.
All right.
We're just waiting the recommendation from the state, so I can speak to my client.
All right, so conference on Woods, we're waiting on the recommendation. So Grace is a bench warrant. Johnson is a conference. And Lyman is a conference. Mitchell We're gonna figure out why Mr. Mitchell's in custody. Reynolds, is a conference, and Stokes, Mr. Stokes is an appointment. Streeter is bench warrant bond forfeiture. Wilson is a conference, and Woods a conference. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to the jail calendar to make announcements on the jail calendar, and then we'll be able to set up whatever breakout rooms we need to set up. Okay. First case on the jail calendar is Clark Justina. I'm sorry, Justina Austin Clark. I think that's right.
Judge, I've spoken with Ms. Clark. I believe that's going to be a plea. I did just want to have a brief pretrial with, I believe, Attorney Tipton or whichever solicitor is handling that case, but I believe we'll have a plea on that today.
All right. So Clark, Austin Clark will have an announcement. Next is Robert Barnes.
Judge, I've spoken to Mr. Barnes. Is he up yet? Yes. I'll need to speak to him one more time. We may or may not be able to resolve that. I may have to submit an order to the court on that case.
No problem. Henry Lee Carroll III.
Your Honor, that's my client, and we are ready for a plea.
All right. Next is Tiffany Monique Chambers.
That's also my client, Your Honor. She has another case that we're hoping that you'll be able to hear. It's another misdemeanor case, a battery misdemeanor case, and I have the case number whenever.
I'm ready.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Apologize, Your Honor. It is 2025 CR 05429.
All right, 2025 CR 05429. If we can get that resolved today, or resolved with this other case, that would be helpful. So if y'all can pull that, that would be good. All right, so we'll hold on Chambers until we get those cases pulled together. Preston Kamei Collier. Preston Kamei Collier.
That's Attorney Lynch's case.
Judge, that is pending evaluation.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly why he's on this calendar, but due to his current state, he was not able to come up today.
All right, so 1 week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks, Judge.
All right. Can I have a 2-week continuance for Mr. Collier? All right, Jahai Hamilton Cruz. Mr. Cruz is back.
Sorry, Your Honor, that's my case. My client, it's looking like his first case. It's looking like a plea. I have to talk to him, and the second case, I need to talk to the state about the second case.
All righty.
So maybe we can get this resolved.
So conference for Mr. Cruz's 2 cases. Mercedes Khalees Dixon. Mercedes.
She's no longer in custody, Judge. I had gotten you to sign a release order. She was on this.
So she's OTB and will be on the next calendar.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Antoine Darius James, that's Miss Martin Stokes' case. She was here last time, but this wasn't the case we were talking about, is it?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
No, I'm just trying to figure out, because I don't see that she has a waiver in. So has anybody heard from her, or does she have a conflict?
Let me check on that, Judge.
Okay, thank you. So that's for James, Antoine Darius James. All right, and next is Trakia Nashay Johnson. Trakia Nashay Johnson.
Yes, that's my client, Your Honor, and we're ready for a plea.
Okay. All right, Chancellor Denzel Maddox. Chancellor Denzel Maddox.
Judge, I've spoken to Mr. Maddox. That'll be a plea today, though. I do need to briefly go over something with Ms. Ponder in regards to the status of his license, but we'll have a resolution today shortly.
Okay. Jared Alexander Major. Jared Alexander Major.
Judge, his attorney's present.
Jay Apt on behalf of Mr. Major. I don't have a petition yet, but I would like to talk to the state or probation to try and get the case resolved.
All right, so Mr. Apt, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
That's nice. Always nice to see a classmate. How you doing?
Sorry.
I said it's always nice to see a classmate.
Oh, likewise.
I'm doing well. So I have on my calendar for Mr. Major that the case was resolved, but on March 11th, 2025. So is this another case we're talking about? Jared
Yeah.
Alexander Major?
I believe this is the probation violation, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
She had a previous one.
Okay, I see it on here now. I'm sorry. Progressives, not the best. I'm always dealing with the. All right, so have you had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Chang?
No, I would love to speak to the state about resolving it in.
Okay, so I think is this your case, Ms. Ponder, or Mr. Tipton?
It'll be my case, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Apt, Ms. Ponder can send her information to the chat for that computer in the courtroom, and then you all can text or chat back and forth as you need.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Ponder. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Does he need to speak to Ms. Chang? It's probation, right?
And I don't know what Ms. Chang's recommendation is, but Ms. Chang, are you on? Because if so, you can chat your information to the courtroom also. Or whoever's covering for Ms. Chang if she's not on. Because I don't know her recommendation until she tells the court.
She's on, but she seemed to be muted. I see her on.
Yeah, so Ms. Chang, if you'll chat your information so that Mr. Apt can I guess communicate with you directly and figure out what the announcement is, what the recommendation is. All right. So next is Marquelius Teray McNabb.
Judge, that's my case. I asked him to be scheduled for a plea. I do need to just briefly talk to Ms. Ponder about that. So if we could just hold for that announcement.
All right. So McNabb is going to be a plea. Joshua Lee Mitchell.
Judge, we're not appointed, and he, I believe, was combative today and did not come up. Although I do believe that he came up on a previous calendar, and I did make attempts to talk to him in the jail in anticipation of us being appointed, but it was unsuccessful.
Okay, I'm going to appoint just out of an abundance of caution. And then do we have a history of having had evaluations prior?
I'm not sure that we do, Judge, but it does seem to be a potential in this case.
Okay, well, let's check and see if he's been before us before. And if so, if there's some history or if there's some information that we already have that we may be able to use.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. And then Hakeem Ajib Owens.
Yes, Your Honor, that's my client, and we're ready for a plea.
Okay. I like the way this is starting. All right, Cameron Alexander Sims. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Kiana Marie Rhodes.
Judge, that's going to be a plea today, negotiated.
All right. All right. And Cameron Alexander Sims.
Judge, we're not currently appointed, although I did speak to Mr. Sims. He did indicate he wished us to be appointed to his.
All right. Done. Send me the order.
We will.
Okay, and you still need to speak to him, or you have a
I've spoke to him. I just need to speak to Ms. Ponder briefly, and I think we'll have that resolved without much more to do.
Okay, next is DeAndre Smith.
Judge, that's going to be a negotiated plea today.
Okay, and Tracy Stewart Willis.
Judge, that we just need to talk to the state briefly, and we'll have an announcement, potentially not guilty or potentially a resolution. We just need a brief conference.
All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 7 or 8 cases that are ready for pleas. I know that we have a mix of females and males, so what I will take them in whatever order, whatever is easiest, and then maybe it'll be easier to do is it easier to do the conferences now and then do all the pleas, or do some pleas and then conferences?
Your
Judge
Honor,
Ross? Go ahead, Ms. Ponder.
I'm sorry. Is it possible we can do conferences first? Only because I have 2 attorneys to speak with and a pro se defendant, but I'll be able to update the court during that time after.
Okay, no problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and allow you all to conference. If you need a breakout room, let me know and I'll set up the breakout rooms. And then we'll be back.
Judge,
Yes,
I'm here. I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
I'm here for Mr. James.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a conference because it was Tifton last time, so it's Ponder now, so
Okay, no problem.
thank you.
Yeah, I think Mr. Tipton was out of town for a conference or something. The accountability courts conference was all the rage recently. All right, so as soon as I can get Ms. Ponder into a breakout room, Ms. Martin, I'll get you in there, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so just y'all let me know what you need and I'll be right here.
Whew.
All right, previously, the court announced a bench warrant bond forfeiture but for Daryl Streeter on the arraignment calendar, but he is on. So, Mr. Streeter,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. All right, so
Say that again. You kind of cut out.
no, I stopped
Oh, okay.
talking.
Yes, ma'am.
So Mr. Streeter, your attorney is present in the courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Tortorello, is this your client? Oh, you got to unmute. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, do you have his contact information?
No, I do not have a good contact information.
Okay. Mr. Streeter, do you know how to use the chat function?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I need you to go to the chat function, open the pull down menu by clicking on whatever name is in blue.
Yes,
Go
ma'am.
down to courtroom 304.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to put your first and last name, your
Yes,
phone
ma'am.
number, and your email address and send it. And Miss Tortorello is in the courtroom.
Okay, for sure. You said to Miss Tortorella, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
you could just send it to courtroom 304. She's standing there
Okay.
ready to get it.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, can that bench warrant be vacated? That
Yes.
move? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm already taking the bench warrant off.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, so y'all let me know when y'all are ready for announcements or if you need a breakout room.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I spoke with probation and we've reached an agreement in the Jarrett Major matter.
All right, Ms. Chang.
She was here in person a moment ago.
Okay, as soon as she gets back to her desk and gets on, then I'll check with Ms. Ponder and I think we can go forward on the probation.
Wonderful, thank you.
Ms. Chang?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Chang.
We we were having problems with my microphone. Sorry
That's okay.
earlier. Thank you.
Ms. Ponder, are you able to listen in on the revocation hearing?
I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor. I'm here. I'm just conferencing with an attorney, but yes, I'm present and I can listen in.
All right. So Mr. App. All right, Deputy, can you bring up Mr. Major, Jared Major?
I can't, the attorney stepped out though.
Oh, okay. So when he steps back in, just let me know. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm bringing your inmate out. They're ready for you. Perfect. They're ready for you to pay your base.
All right, as soon as the deputy brings up Mr. Major, we'll be ready to go forward.
to Mr. Brown.
All right, Mr. Jarrett, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. So, Mr. Jarrett, you're before this court for a petition for revocation. You're represented by your attorney, Mr. J. Ack, who's with you. Mr. Ack, you've had the opportunity to review the recommendation from Ms. Chang.
I have, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Jared Alexander Major, you're before the court on case 2021 CR 06860 for a petition for revocation of probation. You were before this court for DUI less safe, leaving the scene on the 11th day of March 2025. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation. You have 9 months and 1 day remaining, and this is your second hearing. It says that you failed to avoid injurious and vicious habits, that you tested positive for alcohol and the metabolites of alcohol on April 24th, 2025 in the probation office. All right. So, Mr. App, anything on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, we're just asking that you accept the negotiated recommendation of, we stipulate to the violation, and we're asking you accept the negotiated recommendation of 12 days with credit for the 12 days he's already served and return him to probation.
All right. Ms. Chang, is Mr. Jarrett already assigned to go to AA meetings?
Yes, Your Honor.
How you doing? Hi, Mr. Jarrett, talk to me. This is your second revocation hearing, and you just really got sentenced in April. So what's going on, sir? What's the struggle?
Oh, well, I just started doing AA meetings like last time I came. So I've been doing those daily. Weekly, twice a week sometimes. And I had the paperwork and all that stuff for those when I came to probation last time. So it's in my property.
Your Honor, he's got a significant alcohol addiction that he is combating, and it is ongoing. And it is a very big challenge for him, but he's doing the best he can. He's not always succeeding, but he's trying very hard.
I got you, Mr. Jarrett. I generally, like I said, when I see somebody who has an addiction issue, I generally expect to be talking to you at least one more time after I sentence you. So I'm not one of those judges who's like, oh, you messed up on probation 6 months. I'm not that person, because I just don't feel like that's the fix. You get me? But the issue is, I do want to know that you are working towards your sobriety, that you've acknowledged that you have a problem, which you have, and that you're working towards your sobriety. Now, AA is one component. Are you working? Let's talk about what's going on life-wise.
Yes, I am working. So I'm working for Delta Airlines right now, and then I also just got hired right before I was arrested to work at the Hilton Hotel downtown. So
okay.
When I get out, I need to speak with them to see what's going on, but I was actually supposed to start the day after I got arrested.
Okay, so do you have insurance with either of those companies?
Yes.
Do you have an employee assistance program with either of those companies?
No.
Have you thought about checking?
Yes.
Okay, so check and make sure, because most of those are huge companies, so they usually have some kind of employee assistance program. Check and make sure, because usually when someone, and I'm not assuming, but you look pretty young to me. You look like you're in your 30s.
Yes.
Okay. I got that right. So usually if somebody in there who's pretty young has an addiction problem, the addiction is not the source of the problem. It is it's the way you're dealing with whatever the issue is. So if you have an underlying issue, usually that's something that you need to deal with with therapy. You got me? And most people, what causes the alcoholism is usually like a response to trauma or a response to grief. I've seen it over and over and over again. You're either responding to trauma or you're responding to grief. So what I would suggest is that you sign up for some counseling with your employee assistance program. And I don't, a lot of times, I'm just be honest with you, Black people are like, we don't need therapy. We got Jesus. Well, I believe, God put therapy out here for us too. It's one of the tools to help us. And I think that it is an option for you. I need you to at least look into your company's program and sign up. If they have like your 6 free or 4 free sessions, sign up for it and go talk to someone.
Okay, I will, ma'am.
Got me?
Yes.
Because the last thing you want to do is keep coming back here. And even more than that, the last thing you want to do is to hurt someone because you have not worked with your addiction, that you have not dealt with it. You don't want to be on the road driving around, saying, I can deal with it. I've been doing this a long time, and you hurt somebody. You don't want to be in a situation where you're vulnerable because of your addiction and you get hurt. You got me? All right. Do you have kids?
No.
Okay. All right. So that means that you can be a little bit selfish. And sometimes selfish is a good thing. You can be selfish in the sense that you get to work on you and fix you and focus on you. You got me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Chang, what's your recommendation? I think I muted you because I was hearing some feedback, but go ahead and tell me what your recommendation is.
Excuse me. The recommendation is that 12 days be revoked, credit for time served since May 22nd, and return to probation under the same conditions.
All right. Anything, Mr. App?
I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor.
I said, did you have anything else at this time?
No, Your Honor. I do believe that he can get into an employee assistance program through his employment with Delta. And
yeah, Delta is really good. I have a cousin who just celebrated his 36th year with Delta. So,
and I think,
good company.
Yeah. I'll help him look into that.
Thank you. So, Mr. Jarrett, I'm just saying there are options for you. Yeah, look into it because you're too young to let the addiction take your life. You got way more stuff that you can do. You work for Delta, you could be flying all over the country, man. So, seeing all over the world, seeing all kinds of things, having all kinds of experiences. But you got to get control of this. And like I say to people, you have acknowledged that you have an issue. What I want to tell you is a lot of people have shame about an addiction issue, but it's just like any other medical issue. If you got hypertension, if you got diabetes, if you fail to treat them, they will take over your life and could end your life. So you're constantly treating chronic conditions, okay? And if you think of it that way, there's no shame in it. You are managing a chronic condition. You got me? All right. So I'm going to accept the recommendation. If I can get it typed in here. Working on it, yeah. So I'm going to give you credit for 12 days.
Brandon, you got anything going down? No, sir. I had a feeling you said that, but I haven't checked. Knowing you have it by like what? 1:15? About 10 minutes after you walk out? No.
All right. So 12 days. All right, so defendant shall have credit for 12 days revocation. Defendant shall be released and returned to probation to complete all of the special conditions of probation as ordered at sentencing and during the first revocation hearing. All right, so, yeah, Mr. Jared, look into that program, get started on some counseling, take your life back so that, you know, you can enjoy your life, not worry about, having to fix things. You got me? All right.
And Your Honor, if I may give him an appointment,
Okay, so Ms. Chang has an appointment date for you.
for him to report this Thursday, June 5th at 3:15.
Thursday, June 5th, because we got some feedback in the background. So it's Thursday, June 5th at 3:15. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is that for us?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's feedback. Hold on, let me manage that.
We need to be back here for what?
No, so Mr. App, that's not for you. That's for him. That's for his probation check-in.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's Thursday, June 5th at 3:15.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Jarrett, you talked to Officer Chang on that date, okay?
And Your Honor, I just want to make sure I'm hearing it correctly. Were we discussing his motion that is scheduled for?
What was the motion?
The motion, it's my understanding, it was a motion to withdraw a plea. He has a motion scheduled.
Mr. Apt, is that still pending?
That's on 6/5/2025.
Is that the motion to withdraw the plea?
Yes.
Yeah, there's another attorney in my firm who's handling that, Katie Hingrady. That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Are we talking withdraw the plea and go to trial, or withdraw the plea and change the plea?
Your Honor, there's another, I don't know. There's another attorney who is in my office who handles all of our appellate work.
Okay.
Her name's
All
Katie.
right.
I apologize to not be able to give the court a correct answer, but Ms.
No,
Hingrady
that's okay.
could be on the pleadings. And do you have me as the attorney of record or Ms. Hingrady?
I'm sorry?
Do you have me as the attorney of record for the motion to withdraw the plea or Ms. Hingrady?
Ms. Hubert. Yeah, it's the other attorney. It's not you.
Okay, yeah, so I apologize, Judge. She's handling all that.
Okay.
We're asking the court to withdraw the plea so that we can go to trial, but I'm gonna defer to my.
All right, well, we'll handle it on Thursday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Jarrett, okay, make sure you're here on Thursday at 3:15. You should be here for the plea anyway, but for the motions calendar, but make sure you check in with Ms. Chang.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just so there's clarification, his motion will start at 10 a.m., correct?
Yeah, that's the motions calendar.
Okay, thank you, Your
But
Honor.
I don't want him to get confused.
Okay.
He's got to be here for the motions calendar with his other attorney, but he also needs to stay to check in with Ms. Chang.
And so that's on June.
I'm sorry?
June 5th, Thursday, Your Honor?
Yes. 10 a.m.
I'll have him here at 10 a.m.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's all I have this morning. May I be excused?
May.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Good to see
Good
you.
to see you, Judge. Good to see you. Stay well.
I'm sorry, Ms. Chang, the computer glitched and I'm retyping the order, but I'll send it in a second.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm ready for pleas whenever you all are. And I know we have females and males. So however whatever order you want to bring them in, that's fine. Whatever works for the deputy. Also, Miss Martin, have you had the opportunity to communicate with Miss Ponder by email or text or whatever?
I haven't been invited to a breakout room.
Oh, no, I didn't say breakout room.
What did you say?
I said, have you had the opportunity to communicate? She's working alone today, so she's juggling a lot. So I was asking if you'd had a chance to text or email her.
No, ma'am. Hold on. I'm getting the information now. I'll call her now.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Judge.
And Ms. Martin says I am on a phone with Attorney Hall, so if you do call me, I may not be able to answer right away, but I will return your call.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, I'll be back in a moment.
Your Honor, I do have an announcement, and I'm not sure if Ms. Ponder's ready to do some pleas, but if so, I think we have a few that we could go ahead and do.
Okay, I think she's on the phone, but as soon as she's finished on the phone, then she'll let us know.
Okay. Well, then I'll wait for her for my announcement because it's just a plea announcement off the OTB calendar for Mr. Woods. But
Okay, thank you. Because once we get everything lined up, we should be able to roll through. It's a little bit more tedious because it's just her working, and we had gotten used to having two prosecutors for a minute.
yes, Judge. I understand.
Yeah, and I have an announcement for the court.
All right, who's our first person?
Yeah, and I have an announcement for the court.
Yes.
For Jamie Wilson, Your Honor, the state did have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Wilson, and the state is moving to no across that case. I do have his email address, Your Honor, and I will provide that over to the clerk.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so Mr. Wilson, your case will be no cross. You're free to go at this time. All right, do we have any other announcements?
Hi, Judge. There's a bench warrant for Mr. Wilson.
And Your Honor, I will prepare a bench warrant recall as well. Thank you, Ms. Wright.
Thank you.
Also, I did speak with Attorney Hall regarding Mr. Johnson's case. The state, I do see there was a waiver filed, and when he entered a not guilty, the state will consent to a bench warrant recall, and I'll send that over to the court for the court's consideration.
Okay, and that's on the arraignment calendar? Oh.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct on the arraignment calendar. Last name is Johnson.
Okay. All right, and that's going on the trial calendar?
A waiver was found, Your Honor, on May the 15th, 2025 by Attorney Butterfield.
All right.
Yeah, that will go on the calendar call.
All right, thank you. All right, so Ms. Hall, you're free to go at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take
Thank you,
care,
Your
ma'am.
Honor.
Yes. All right, any other announcements at this time? Are we ready to roll?
Yes, Judge. I do have an announcement off the arraignment calendar, OTB arraignment calendar, which would be for Mr. Woods.
Yes.
He does wish to accept the state's offer and enter into a negotiated plea at
All
this
right.
time. And then I was gonna ask Ms. Ponder whether she was ready. I think we have a few more matters to kind of conclude, but if we could go ahead and start taking a few pleas, if Ms. Ponder's ready to do that, or.
I'm still speaking to Attorney Martin Stokes, but if I can just have a few more minutes, we should be finishing up and then I'll be able to update the court.
All right.
But also, Mr. Lynch, I also responded to your text message regarding Streeter and yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so we will return and in a few moments when Ms. Ponder's done speaking with Ms. Martin, and then we'll start rolling on the pleas.
Your Honor, could I request that Mr. Reynolds be placed in a breakout room with Ms. Tortorello's device?
Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Reynolds, I'm going to set up a breakout room. You'll see an invitation and you'll meet with Ms. Tortorello.
Okay, no problem.
All right, I'm going to put you in breakout room number 2. 1 second. Trying to find Mr. Reynolds. Let's see. Am I missing him? What, Mr. Reynolds, are you under your own name or are you the iPhone?
I'm the iPhone. I just switched to the iPhone.
Okay. Let me know if you get the invitation and then go into the breakout room.
And
okay, got.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Lynch.
Actually, go ahead, Ms. Bonner.
Your Honor, I'm ready with doing some pleas. I'm waiting on some information regarding Mr. James' case. So while I'm waiting on the information, the state is ready to proceed on the pleas.
Okay. What we got, Mr. Lynch?
Mr. Woods from the OTB arraignment calendar is ready to do a plea.
Okay, come on up, Mr. Woods.
And this is a negotiated plea, is that correct, Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, yes, Ms. Ponder.
You're just speaking into existence.
Hey, I was just get out of my head, Ms. Ponder. I'm just saying, manifested. All right. So, Mr. Woods, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. So, Mr. Woods, you're before the court on 2023 CR 00184. Blake Maurice Woods for improper backing, marijuana 1 ounce or less, and possession of a drug-related object. Mr. Lynch is representing you. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plea to the offenses before the court?
Judge, he's going to ask the court to take no-lo pleas to counts 1 and 3, and I believe count 2 would be null pros.
I'm also null pros in count 3, Mr. Lynch. I'm sure you don't have an objection to that. Sorry.
I do not in my client.
All right. So, Mr. Woods, by entering a plea of no-lo to count 1, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present evidence and testimony. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On May the 24th, 2022, while officers were assisting a plant road safety check, officers observed the offender's vehicle, a white Ford F-250, stop in the middle of the roadway upon seeing the road safety check and then proceed to back up. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation for count 1 is a $100 fine. The state is moving count 2, possession of marijuana, and count 3, drug-related objects.
All right. Mr. Woods, the fine is $100. It'll be $151.50. That's the total with the, once they add the surcharges. Did you wish to pay that today or do you need additional time?
Immediately, ma'am.
Okay. Well, what you're going to do is when you leave the courtroom, you're going to go downstairs to the second floor. When you come back through the double doors on the second floor, go left, and you'll see the traffic court window. They'll take your payment and then they'll give you your paperwork, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Woods. You're free to go at this time. Be safe.
Thank you, you too.
All right, who's next?
Who's next?
We're ready on DeAndre Smith. I know we're ready on that matter.
Okay.
Smith? Is that jail or arraignment?
Calendar.
That was on the jail calendar. But
Yeah.
I think maybe we're trying to get Mr. Carroll out of here. So if we can just do Mr. Carroll. I'm sorry.
You said Smith. Who we doing?
Henry Carroll, if we may.
All right. No problem.
I'm sorry, Judge. We're going to do Mr. Carroll next. We're going to start with DeAndre Smith. Miss Tortorella is in a breakout room. She handled it.
All right.
That's my apologies.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Lynch, who do we have here?
This is Mr. Smith.
Smith.
Mr. Smith, correct?
Yes, DeAndre.
All right. Raise your right hand for me, Mr. Smith. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. So, Mr. Smith, you're before the court on case 2025 CR 05363 for DeAndre Smith for obstruction of an officer, count 1, giving a false name, address, or date of birth, counts 2 and 3, and drug-related objects, count 4. Mr. Lynch is representing you. Mr. Lynch, how does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, I believe the negotiated plea had him pleading guilty to counts 1, 2, 3, and 4.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty to counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Smith?
Ma'am.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Sir, she's asking the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor. On May the 14th, 2025, officers in the area of 7050 Highway 85, Riverdale, Georgia, located here in Clayton County, Georgia, Officers received a call at the Walmart location in reference to a male locked inside of the breastfeeding room. Officers arrived on scene and made contact with the defendant, later identified as Mr. Smith. Officers proceeded to ask Mr. Smith his name and date of birth, in which he gave a false name and date of birth. I have a DeAndrea Smith with a date of birth of 3/31/1986. He spelled it DIANDREA. Officers learned during the course of their investigation that his true and correct legal name was DeAndre, DeOndre, last name Smith, with a date of birth of 3/31/1987. Officers requested the defendant to leave out of the bathroom, in which he refused. Officers did search the defendant, and they located a glass smoking device with burnt marks in the inside. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is as follows. For count 1, it's a $300 fine, suspended. Count 2, 12 months to serve, 12 months to serve, 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended on the condition that he does not return to that Walmart location, 7050 Highway 85, Riverdale, Georgia. I don't know this, let's see the zip code.
That's okay.
30274, Your Honor.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Count 3, it's 12 months to serve, 20 days credit for time served, balance suspended to run concurrent with count 2. Drug-related objects is 12 months to serve, 20 days credit for time served, balance suspended to run concurrent to count 2.
All right. Anything, Mr. Lynch, on behalf of your client?
Not at this time, Your Honor. We would ask the court accept the plea as negotiated.
All right. So, Mr. Smith, the court is going to accept your plea of guilty to counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. On count 1, it's a $300 fine that will be suspended for credit for time served. Count 2 is 12 months to serve, 20 days, credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the Walmart located in Riverdale, Georgia, Clayton County. Count 3 will run concurrent with count 2. 12 months to serve, 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, and count 4 will run concurrent with count 2, 12 months to serve, 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended. All right, you can go back with the sheriff's office, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
Your
Mr.
Honor.
All right, who's next?
Judge, I just wanted to go ahead and make an announcement on Tracy Willis,
Okay,
the last position.
the jail calendar, yeah.
At this time, he does wish to enter a not guilty plea.
All right, so Mr. Willis is entering a not guilty plea, and he'll go back to the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Judge. And
Thank you,
then,
Your Honor.
Can we get Miss Rhodes, if we're ready on plea for Miss Rhodes?
Up to y'all.
The state is ready on any case. Mr. Simpson is actually conferencing with Miss Martin Stokes. That was his case. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll be able to take any pleas that is ready.
All right, so I think Rhodes is ready.
Okay. Is that on the jail calendar?
I'm ready for whoever they bring up.
Jail calendar, yes, it's a negotiated plea. Right here, this is the judge. If this goes dark, she's right up here.
All right, Ms. Rhodes, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Kiana Marie Rhodes, 2025 CR 05326 for criminal trespass. You're represented by Mr. Owen Lynch, who's standing next to you at the podium. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
Pleads guilty, Judge.
All right. So, Ms. Rhodes, by entering a plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Judge, I believe the facts are on the pleadings. We can stipulate that this is a criminal trespass at the airport.
Okay.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 45 days, balance suspended, do not return to the airport without official business, and essentially stay away.
All right. So, Ms. Rhodes, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 45 days. Credit for time served. Did she have credit for time served? Did I hear that? Okay. Credit for time served balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta International Airport without a ticket for travel on that day. Okay?
All right.
All right. So, Ms. Rhodes, they're making it more difficult for people to kind of be comfortable at the airport if you're not flying in or out. You know what I'm saying? So please try and stay away from the airport. If you need assistance, there are several assistance agencies that you can get information from through the chaplain's office at the sheriff's office, or you can, contact the Salvation Army. There are a lot of assistance agencies out there that can kind of help you get back on your feet. So avoid the airport and try one of those, okay? Churches will help, all right?
Thank you.
All right, you can go back to the sheriff's office.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm not sure if there was an announcement on another case, but we'll be ready to go forward on Mr. Sims.
Okay.
Court is ready, but if anyone else needs to make an announcement.
Judge, I'd like to make an announcement on Mr. James. We'll enter a plea of not guilty.
All right. So on James, on the jail calendar, Antoine Darius James, Mr. James is entering a plea of not guilty. At this time, you are free to go, and Mr. James can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right, and we have Sims coming up.
We do Cameron Sims.
Okay. So this is what I have outstanding. Austin Clark, Barnes, Carroll, Chambers has 2 cases. Collier was reset, so not Collier. But Cruz has 2 cases. Johnson, Maddox, McNabb, Mitchell, Owens, Sims, and then we have the arraignment calendar to complete.
Yes, Judge.
So those are the outstanding cases on the jail calendar, but I think all of them have announced ready, with the exception of Cruz and Barnes. Cruz, Chambers, and Barnes, I think.
I'm not seeing Chambers. I might be missing it.
Chambers has 1 case on the calendar, no, and then another case to be added, and I think that's Ms. Tortorello.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
And Your Honor, I did pull that file, and I believe we gave her that information on the new case, the most recent case.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Sims?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Cameron Alexander Sims for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, failure to change your license address within 30 days, and failure to yield the right of way. How does your client plead on the 4 cases before the court, Mr. Lynch?
Judge, he pleads no contest to count 1 and no contest to count 4. And I believe count 2 and 3 will be no pros.
All right. By entering a plea of nolo to counts 1 and 4, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On September the 24th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on Highway 138 and Mount Zion Road, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers observed the defendant failure to yield while turning left. When officers made contact with that individual, they found out his license were in fact suspended. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is as follows. For count 1, state's recommendations of $500 fine suspended. Count 2, the state is moving to no pros. Count 3, the state is moving to no pros. And count 4 is a $100 fine suspended in lieu of him being in custody, Your Honor. The state has taken that into consideration.
All right. All right. Mr. Sims, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo to counts 1 and 4. Counts 2 and 3 will be no pros. I'll sentence you on count 1 to a $500 fine that will be suspended for credit for your the time served. Count 4, $100 fine that will be suspended for the credit for time served. And counts 2 and 3 will be no pros. And Mr. Sims?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, don't go driving around with no license, no insurance, always have your documents, because even if you get pulled over for a traffic infraction, that's one offense. But if you don't have a license, if you don't have your insurance, if you don't have a registration, that adds stuff. And you're more likely to spend time in jail the more offenses you have. You got that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just keep your documents good, okay? Going back with the sheriff's office.
That's up to the deputy. Can you grab the tissue? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, we are ready to.
I'm ready for whatever y'all got.
Mr. Maddox.
Okay.
And that's on what calendar, Mr. Lynch?
That's on the jail.
Okay, thank you.
Remember, we spoke about this one, Ms. Bonner.
Okay, no problem. I'll look at my notes.
Stand right next to me. Right here.
All right, Mr. Maddox, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So Chancellor Denzel Maddox, 2022 CR 01396, for driving on a suspended or revoked license, count 1, no license, count 2, no insurance, count 3, giving a false name, address, or date of birth, counts 4 and 5. Mr. Lynch is your attorney, Mr. Maddox. What does your client plead to the offenses before the court, Mr. Lynch?
Judge, he'd like the court to take a no contest plea to count 1, a no contest plea to count 3 and 4, and I believe counts 2 and 5 would be null pros.
All right. By entering a plea of nolo to counts 1, 3, and 4, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things? Mr. Maddox? Okay. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Judge, we don't mind stipulating. I believe most of the facts are on the pleadings, but we'll stipulate if the court is.
All right, recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. For count one, you just get the accusation because it's a lot of charges. For count one, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 15 days, credit for time served, balance suspended. Count two, the state is moving to no pros. Count three is a $200 fine, suspended. Count four, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 15 days, credit for time served, balance suspended. And count five, the state is moving to no pros.
All right. So, Mr. Maddox, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo to counts 1, 3, and 4. Count 2 and 5 will be no pros. On count 1, it's 12 months to serve 15 days. Credit for time served, balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. Count 3 will run concurrent with count 1, a $200 fine suspended. Count 4 will run concurrent with count 1, a 12-month, 15 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, as long as you have no new violations of the state of Georgia. So, Mr. Maddox, please make sure, sir, that you're not driving around with your documents not in good order. It doesn't make any sense because if you get a traffic infraction, that's one offense. But if you don't have insurance, if you don't have a license, if you don't, that's how you end up in jail, sir. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you need to get all of those things and make sure they are correct before you get behind anybody's wheel. Otherwise, take Uber or the bus. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can go back to the sheriff's office. All right.
Could you give me an announcement on Go ahead. Jump in. You can jump in at any time. Just push me out of the way.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I have an announcement on Reynolds.
Yes.
The state's going to move to dismiss his driving without a suspended license, with a suspended license case. And then we're ready on a plea for his no insurance case.
Okay, and that's on the arraignment calendar?
Yes, yes. The Adam Bond.
All right, Reynolds. 1 second.
I think they want to do Carol next. After this
Just trying to find him.
I need to talk.
Oh, that's... All right, so Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
There you are. Raise your right hand for me. Is that your right hand?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know whether the camera inverts or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. All right. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down. So you're before the court for two cases. First case is 2023 CR 00182. Andrew Amari Reynolds for count one, driving on a suspended or revoked license, count two, no license, and count three, failure to have headlights. Ms. Tortorello is your attorney. Ms. Tortorello, what is going on with that case? So counts 1, 2, and 3, what is your client plea?
We're not going to plead to that one, Your Honor. The state's moving to dismiss that one.
Okay, so this case will be no cost in its entirety. Thank you. And then on case 2023 CR 07377 for no insurance, what is your client plea to that offense, Ms. Tortorello?
That will be a NOLO plea, Your Honor.
All right. By entering a plea of NOLO, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you were not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty, or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes.
All right. Factual basis for the case ending in 07377 and recommendation.
Your Honor, if it's okay, the defense stipulates to the facts.
All right. Recommendation.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a $200 fine.
All right. So, Ms. Tortorella, Mr. Reynolds, the fine is $200. It's $298 total with the surcharge. Yeah, no, it's the state surcharges. It's not us. So, I always give somebody who's not at the courthouse 30 days to pay. Do you need more than 30 days? I can give you up to 60 days to pay with no additional fees and or anything.
You want to take the 60 days, because this is like
The 60 days? Okay, no problem. All right, so but Ms. Tortorella, do you have his email address?
Not with me, Your Honor. Mr. Reynolds.
No problem. Mr. Mr. Reynolds, before you leave the hearing, I need you to chat your email address to Ms. Wright, Amanda Wright.
She's in this group right here.
Yes, she should be at the top because it goes by first names first. So you should see Amanda first. See it? All right. So send her your email address. Make sure you check it to make sure there's no incorrect spacing or lettering or numbering. And then once you send that to her, she's going to send you back your sentencing sheet. It will have the information about when your fines and fees need to be paid. Please do not miss that deadline, because if you do, an arrest warrant could issue for failure to complete a suspended sentence. All right. So you'll have 60 days in which to pay. The email will also tell you about how to pay online or by phone if you choose those options. Okay. All right. Once you send that email, let me know, and then you'll be free to go. And we're going to keep all of our documents in operational order, aren't we, Mr. Reynolds?
Of course, yes.
All right. It's cheaper to keep insurance than to get insurance after you get a fines and fees, right?
I have insurance. I have insurance since.
All right, Mr. Reynolds.
Judge, I have his email address.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Reynolds, you take care. Be safe.
All right, thank you.
You do take care. You're free to go at this time. All right. So what's next? I still on the arraignment calendar. I have Lyman and Mitchell, Stokes and Streeter, and then I have on the jail calendar Austin Clark, Barnes, Carroll, Chambers, Cruz, Johnson, McNabb, Mitchell, and Owens.
All right, Your Honor,
I'm ready when the court is ready on any of those, please, Your Honor.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. We're ready on Mr. Henry Carroll, position 3 on the jail calendar.
All right.
Your Honor, could I request that Mr. Streeter be placed in a breakout room with Ms. Tortorella's device? I'm going to go talk to him in the breakout room, in the conference room, to try to get that resolved.
No problem. Hold on just a second. Let me get Streeter. Mr. Streeter, you're gonna be in a breakout room number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
With Mr. Lynch.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead into the breakout room.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Carroll, raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Carroll, you're before the court, Henry Lee Carroll III, 2025 CR 05168 for criminal trespass. You're represented by Attorney Tortorello. She's with you at the podium. Ms. Tortorello, what is your client plead to the offense?
We're gonna plead guilty.
All right. By internal plea of guilty, Mr. Carroll, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Defense stipulates to the facts.
All right. Recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve. I'm sorry. Yes, 12 months to serve, 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended on the condition that he does not return to the business, 24/7 Corn Laundry. That address is 11196 Terra Boulevard, Hampton, Georgia, 30228.
All right. Mr. Carroll, I'm going to accept your plea, sir. 12 months to serve 20 days, credit for time served, balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to 24/7 Coin Laundry in Hampton, Georgia at 11196 Terra Boulevard in Clayton County, okay?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, Mr. Carroll, take care.
Blessings. Thank you. God bless.
Mr. Carroll, if you need any assistance before you leave jail, you might want to talk to one of the chaplains and see if they have some information that could help you if you need assistance once you get out, okay?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, take care, sir. All right. All right, who's next?
Your Honor, defense is ready on Hakeem Owens.
All righty.
And is that on the jail calendar?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hakeem Owens.
Do we have any more females left on the calendar?
I believe we could do Trakia Johnson next. Mr.
Yeah, because that way we can clear at least one side and it'll be easier for the Deputy Woodson. All right. Raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Hakeem Ajib Owens, you're before the court on 2025 CR 05323 for pedestrian in the roadway and reckless conduct. You're represented by Ms. Tortorello, who's standing next to you at the podium. Sir, I'm sorry, Ms. Tortorello, what is your client plea to the offenses before the court?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty to counts 1 and 2, Mr. Owens, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do we need a factual basis or we stipulate?
Stipulating, Your Honor.
All right, recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor, on count one is 12 months to serve, 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended. Count two will run concurrent to count one. That's 12 months to serve, 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended.
All right. All right, so Mr. Owens, I'm going to accept your pleas of guilty to counts 1 and 2. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 20 days for time served, balance suspended, as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. And count 2 is the same sentence, and it will run concurrent with count 1, okay?
I appreciate you.
All right, so Mr. Owens, if you need any assistance, once you get out of jail, check with the chaplains before you leave the jail. They may have information, flyers, or how to contact some of the organizations that work to help people kind of get back on their feet, okay?
Yeah.
All right, take care and be safe, Mr. Owens. I don't want you out in that street. You know, Terra Boulevard and these streets around here, cars move fast.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you.
All right, take care, sir.
We got a couple more, please.
Miss Johnson, Trakia Johnson.
Trakia Johnson. Is that the last female with him?
I still have Tiffany Chambers. No more?
No, is it the last one? No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to clear one side or the other for you.
Ms. Johnson is next, Trakia Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't mind following up with you. I'll probably be up there and let that. I mean, there's some people I don't really know exactly what I'm putting out this, but I'll actually.
Ms. Johnson, raise your right hand for me, please. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Ms. Johnson, you're before the court on 2025 CR 05324, Trakia Nashay Johnson for criminal trespass. You, what is your client plea to the offenses before the court, Ms. Tortorella?
Nolo.
Okay, by entering a plea of nolo, Ms. Johnson, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up a right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor, if I could just have one moment.
Mhm.
Your Honor, on May the 12th, 2025, officers responded to 235 Roberts Drive, Building 16, Apartment A, in reference to an unoccupied vacant unit. Officers located additional individuals. If I could just have one moment. Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Thank you for that. Officers made contact with two individuals, one being the defendant, Ms. Johnson. Officers learned during the course of their investigation that the defendant did enter the property without unauthorized and use of the property without the property owner's consent. It's my understanding they spoke with the property owner, who was later identified as Mary Scarlett, who indicated that there would requested a criminal trespassing warning. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. State's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 20 days credit for time served, balance suspended on the condition that the defendant does not return to 235 Roberts Drive, Riverdale, Georgia, and the zip code. Zip code is 30274.
All right. So, Ms. Johnson, what's going on? Are we struggling with some housing issues?
As of right now, yes, ma'am. But the thing about that specific problem, I was with a guy and he told me,
Miss Johnson,
don't do that.
So he told you, I got a spot. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And then y'all went to the spot and it turned out not to be his spot. Well, I mean, okay, here's a clue, Miss Johnson. If y'all have to go in through a window or some kind of broken entrance, but he made it look like it was his. All right. So if you are struggling with some housing issues right now, there's some agencies in Clayton County that might be able to help you. There's an agency called Hearts to Nourish Hope. There's Calvary Refuge. There's let's see, Hope Shelter. So Salvation Army, some churches have assistance programs. So just do something, like talk to the chaplains. They may have flyers or information handouts, but do something so that you are safe, because you know it's not safe out here. Okay. All right. So when you go back with the sheriff's office, just before you get released, ask to see if you can speak with the chaplain to get some information for some assistance for something that might help you kind of get back on your feet. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to accept your plea of NOLO, 12 months to serve, 20 days credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to 235 Roberts Drive, Riverdale, Georgia, Clayton County.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Be safe, Ms. Johnson.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay.
You still have another plea?
All right, next.
I needed to roll security.
I entered not guilty.
You already entered it?
We still have Miss Dixon, Mercedes Khalees Dixon.
She's out to bond.
That's out to bond. And then we have Tiffany Monique Chambers.
You have an announcement on that?
No, I need to talk to Ms. Chambers about her second case, Your Honor.
And then we have Justina Austin Clark.
Yes, Judge. We're ready for the plea on that.
Okay, I'm ready on Austin Clark.
State is ready, Your Honor.
I'll just need to inform her of one fact when she comes out. It'll just take one moment. I'm sorry, Judge, this is Miss Austin Clark.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
I do.
All right, so Ms. Austin Clark, you're before the court. You can put your hand down. You're before the court on case 2025 CR 052009 for battery, count 1, and simple battery, count 2. You're represented by Mr. Owen Lynch, who's with you at the podium. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, she's going to plead guilty to count 1.
All right, count 2 will merge. By entering a plea of guilty to count 1, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On May the 5th, 2025, officers responded to 6569 River Run Road, Riverdale, Georgia 30274 in regard to a domestic disturbance. When officers arrived on scene, they made contact with a Cameron Johnson, common spelling, who was standing in the outside of the doorway speaking with another individual, asking her to leave, later identified as the defendant before you, Ms. Austin Clark. Officers learned during the course of their investigation that the defendant did strike Mr. Johnson multiple times. Due to an argument, officers also smell an odor of alcohol coming from her breath, in which she stated repeatedly to arrest her. Officers did observe that there was small lacerations, causing small lacerations to the face. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months to serve, 20 days credit for time served, balance prorated for the defendant to enroll and complete a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment, no drugs or alcohol while on probation, and to also enroll into a family violence intervention program. Count 2 will merge into count 1.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
Yes, Your Honor. I am going to ask the court to accept the plea. However, I would ask the court to consider waiving probation fees in this case. Ms. Clark does explain to me that she does have a stable place to live. She was in the process of trying to get a job, but she is currently unemployed. And there's going to be a lot of expenses associated with the FIP and the substance abuse evaluation. So we'd ask the court to consider waiving probation fees in this case.
Okay, I'll waive the fees for the first 4 months. How does Miss Austin Clark know Mr. Johnson?
They had a relationship.
Do they still have a relationship? Miss Austin Clark, do you share children with Mr. Johnson? Okay. I'm sorry?
No, Your Honor, they don't have any children. Ms. Clark does not have any children at this time.
Okay, so I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to count 1. Count 2 will merge. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 20 days, credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to have a substance evaluation and any treatment that may be ordered. You're to have no alcohol or illicit drugs during the course of your probation. If your doctor don't prescribe it, you don't take it. If it's not something that's commonly sold over the counter for treatment of a common illness, you don't take it. Are we clear? And don't eat any edibles that somebody might share with you, because I get all the people who tell me, well, I didn't even know. Somebody just gave me the brownie. Okay, we clear? All right. So you're to have no alcohol or illicit drugs. You're subject to random screens for alcohol or illicit drugs during the course of your probation. And you'll also start a family violence intervention program and show proof of completion of that program. Now it's 24 weeks. If you mess up more than 3 times, they're going to kick you out and make you start all over again. You don't have time and you don't have money to start all over again. You want to get in it, get it done, and complete it. We clear? All right. So, and no contact with Cameron Johnson. All right. And by no contact, that means no contact at all. If no text, phone, social media, work, job, nothing, no contact. Are we clear? All right. Did you have personal items at the location of this, of where this happened? I can't hear you.
No personal items. It's probably like a leftover clothes, but no personal items. Okay. All right. So then you don't have any need to go back there. All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office. Once you, please understand that the quickest way to get rearrested is to fail to do your probation reports. If you're having trouble with anything that I've ordered you to do, talk to your probation officer. They are your ally in this situation, so don't avoid them. Are we clear? All right, you can go back to the sheriff's office. All right, next.
Judge, I do have an announcement off the OTB calendar. I have a plea ready negotiated for Mr. Streeter.
All right, Mr. Streeter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we ready on Streeter? Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Streeter, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Darrell Deshawn Streeter, 2021 CR 08050 for no insurance, count 1, and no tag or expired or invalid tag, count 2. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, he's going to plead no contest to count 1, and I believe the state agreed to null pros count 2.
All right. Integral plea of nolo to count 1. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On November the 27th, 2020, officers conducted a traffic stop on Highway 85 and Garden Walk Boulevard, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers checked the defendant's vehicle and learned that there was the tag, invalid registration, and the defendant did not have proper proof of insurance. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation for count 1 is a $200 fine suspended. Count 2, the state is moving to null pros. In addition, Your Honor, Mr. Streeter has a bench warrant and the state is preparing a bench warrant recall.
All right. So, Mr. Streeter, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo. I'll sentence you to pay a fine in the amount of $200. That fine will be suspended as long as you have no new violations. I'll also sign a bench warrant set aside, and count 2 will be no cost. So, Mr. Streeter, what did we learn? Let's make sure we have all our documents and stuff together, and so that we don't have traffic offenses. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Take care, sir.
All right. Yes,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
All right. What next?
Judge, I was going to take a moment to step out in the hall and call Mr. Stokes, who we got appointed to.
Okay. Well, you got back up. Ms. Tortorello has some stuff she can go on.
We're ready on a plea for Mr. Cruz.
All right.
On the jail calendar, Jahi Cruz.
This is on the arraignment calendar?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's on the jail calendar.
Oh, I'm sorry, jail calendar.
Jail arraignment, yeah, sorry.
All right, so Mr. Jahai Hamilton Cruz, plus his heart.
And
All right, Mr. Cruz, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're before the court on 2021 CR 05467 for Jahai Hamilton Cruz. For count 1 is fleeing police, count 2 leaving the scene, count 3 speeding 25 to 30 miles per hour over the limit, and count 4 no insurance or no proof of insurance. You're represented by Attorney Tortorella, who's with you at the podium. Ms. Tortorella, what does your client plead to those offenses?
Yes, Your Honor, for the fleeing and the hit and run, a guilty plea. And for the speeding, he will plead nolo. And the state's dismissing the 4th count.
All right, and on the second case, Mr. Cruz, 2023 CR 10619 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, count 1, marijuana 1 ounce or less, count 2, and tampering with evidence, count 3. What does your client plead to those offenses, Ms. Tortorello?
Your Honor, the state is moving to null pros that case in lieu of his guilty plea to case 2021 CR 05467.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so the case 2023 CR 10619 will be no pros in its entirety. All right, recommendation, I'm sorry, factual basis of recommendation on the case 2021 CR 05467.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense stipulates the facts.
All right, well, I kind of want to hear this one. All
Yes,
right,
Your Honor.
let me hear him.
Okay. Your Honor, on November the 15th, 2020, officers were in the area of 1500 Morrow Road, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers was running radar, which they came across the defendant's vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, 65 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. Officers did use a LiDAR at that time. Officers did initiate their patrol vehicle's emergency equipment light siren, initiating a traffic stop. The defendant proceeded to drive his vehicle through multiple locations, Jonesboro Road and Morrow Road. He then went through the BP gas station without stopping. Officer indicated that he was not pursuing the vehicle at that time. Officers indicated that his speed did reach over 45 to 50 miles per hour at that time. Officers made contact with the defendant. Through dispatch was notified that the defendant had struck another vehicle and was traveling northbound on I-75. Officers made contact with the driver of that vehicle, later identified as the victim, Malika Sutton. She indicated there was no injuries. At that point, officers did make contact with the defendant through dispatch. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor.
All right.
The state, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, ma'am. No, go ahead.
For count 1, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for time served, balance probated, a $500 fine, and to pay restitution in the amount of $500, the victim's deductible for her insurance. Count 2 is to run concurrent to count 1, and that's 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, a $500 fine suspended. Count 3 is a $100 fine suspended, and count 4 is a no pros. Your Honor, for the victim, Malika Russell, the state will send over her information to probation and to the clerk.
All right. Anything on behalf of Mr. Cruz, Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. He had a VOP hearing earlier today, and he still has some time to serve in jail. So just advising the state that the victim will not get the restitution until after he starts his probation, which will be after the 30 days.
All right. So, Mr. Cruz, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to counts 1 and 2. On count 3, I'll accept your no-low plea. Count 4 will be no pros. I'll sentence you on count 1 to 12 months to serve 30 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $500 and to pay restitution in the amount of $500. Now, the $500 fine will be $737.50. The court is requiring you to pay restitution first. So the first payments to be made are to restitution to the victim in this case. So any monies that you pay, you'll pay the first $500 to restitution, and then you'll pay the fines and fees. Count 2 will be, and since you're going to be in for a minute, I'll suspend the supervision fees on this case because you won't have a job for a minute. Count 2 is 12 months to serve 30 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be suspended. Fine $500 will be suspended. That will run concurrent with count 1. Count 3, your no-low plea is a $100 suspended fine, and count 4, no process. Now, Mr. Cruz, how old are you?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 29 years old.
All right. So, Mr. Cruz, are we done with the foolishness?
Yes, ma'am. That happened when I was at a younger age. Like
That's why I'm asking this question, because my understanding is this caused you a VOP somewhere else.
Yes.
And so what I'm saying to you is you're 29 years old. The 20 stupid stuff has to stop. Like at this point, it's grown up time, it's pay your taxes time, it's save up your money and go on vacation time. This is adult time that we are moving into. We clear?
Yes, ma'am. If I may say, I have changed my life around.
I'm glad.
A supervisor at the Security Solutions, Georgia State Security Solutions. So I'm doing much better now.
I'm so proud of you, Mr. Cruz. You know, for a minute there, I thought we go together. I was like, every time I turn around, I'm seeing your name.
No, you see what it was?
I'm just messing with you. These 2 cases have gone on for a minute. I'm just messing with you. But I do want you to get it together. Because Mr. Cruz, there's nothing better than working hard and then getting that week-long vacation and you down in the Caribbean or someplace and you just having a good time because you know you work for it and you get to relax and have fun. That's what life is about. You work hard, you play hard.
Yes, ma'am.
And you stay out of trouble. Okay?
Promise.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. So when you get out, Mr. Cruz, if you don't immediately get, like you'll meet with probation, but if you don't immediately get the information about where to meet with your probation officer for this case, when you get out, within 2 days of you getting out, come back to the to the 3rd floor of this building and ask to speak with probation. And then they'll get you set up with a probation date. Okay, so within 2 days of you getting out of jail and finish with all of the stuff, come back here, 3rd floor, and tell them you're signed up for probation, but you don't have a probation report date. Okay.
I have a question. If I pay off the fines, do the probation ends?
I didn't agree to that, but that's something your attorney can talk to the state about. You don't have anything else other than the fines and the restitution. But what I ask is that you pay the restitution first.
If I pay off both, that's what I was trying to say.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. So yeah, once those are paid, then your probation officer can contact me and I can sign off on it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, who is next? I still have Barnes, Chambers, McNabb and Mitchell on the jail calendar. And then on the arraignment calendar, Lyman, Mitchell, and Stokes.
Your Honor, if I may suggest, so I have Mitchell on the arraignment calendar, and that's going to be a negotiated plea to resolve all three cases.
All right, I'm ready.
And I was going to see if perhaps you could place Ms. Tortorello's device in a breakout room with Mr. Stokes.
Yes.
Because I wasn't able to reach him on the phone. We have the information on that. And then meanwhile, she's going to try to also contact Ms. Ponder about Ms. Chambers. And then we could go ahead and do the plea on Mitchell. I think I have announcements for the remainder of the cases you mentioned as well, with the exception of maybe one.
Okay, so Mr. Stokes, I'm going to put you in a breakout room number 2. The attorney will be in there in a moment, so don't freak out if you go in there and they're not there yet. So I'm putting Ms. Tortorello's device in breakout room number 2 for whoever's going to speak with Mr. Stokes.
Yes.
Is it on? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it just turned off.
Oh, just turned off. Okay. Well, we may be having some technical difficulties, so
Okay.
I guess we might have to get Mr. Stokes to come out of the breakout room and call him on the phone.
Okay.
Call me didn't pick up, so I might have to just.
I can do it on my phone.
Okay. Oh, she's just gonna log on to Zoom on her phone.
Okay, so when you pop on, I'll put Mr. Stokes, hold on a second. We've got some technical difficulties. Is he, Mr. Stokes, you there? He may be having technical difficulties too. All right, you said we had announcements, or we had somebody, who we have next?
Your Honor, Mr. Mitchell from the OTB arraignment calendar.
Okay, that works.
Does want to resolve them all.
All right. All right, Mr. Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Mitchell, you're before the court. You have 3 cases. You're represented by Attorney Owen Lynch, who's with you. 1 second. All right, so Mr. Mitchell, you're before the court on 2022 CR 03475 for driving under the influence, count 1, and driving under the influence less safe, count 2. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plead to the offenses on that case?
Guilty to count 1, Judge, and I believe count 2 would merge.
All right, and on case 2023 CR 01605, discharging a firearm, what is your client plead to the offense on that case?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and on case 2023 CR 02041, stop or yield sign violation, license not on person, what is your client plead to the offenses on that case?
No to count 1, and count 2 would be no pros, I believe, pursuant to the rec.
All right. So, Mr. Mitchell, you're before the court, Marquez Deshaun Mitchell, on these three cases. By entering the plea of guilty or nolo, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
For case 2023 CR 02041.
We don't mind stipulating in that case.
All right, go ahead.
The state's recommendation is a $100 fine suspended. The state is moving to dismiss count 2.
All right.
In case 2022 CR 03475, this is a negotiated plea. Is that correct, Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to. On July the 9th, 2021, officers responded to the location. Get the location. 6533 Terra Boulevard, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers responded to this location due to a possible DUI call from dispatch. Officers met with the defendant, later identified as Mr. Mitchell. When officers made contact with the individuals, officers observed a strong odor of alcohol coming from his person. Officers indicated that he was unstable, unable to maintain his balance. Officers observed the defendant having glossy eyes and his speech was slurred. Officers observed that the defendant was very talkative and not knowing what was going on. Officers determined that he was in fact less safe to drive at this point. One moment. Officers read Georgia implied consent in which the defendant did agree to a blood test. Came back that his BAC was a 0.201. The state's recommendation is as follows. For the DUI per se, 12 months to serve, 24 hours, credit for time served, balance probated, a $300 fine, 40 hours of community service, substance abuse evaluation, any recommended treatment, no drugs or alcohol while on probation, and subject to a risk reduction course. In case count 2, in that case, Your Honor, will merge into count 1. In case 2023 CR 01605, the defendant was charged with count 1, firearms discharge near a highway. On March the 30th, 2021, officers responded to a report of shots fired at 6370 Old Dixie Road, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. Officers made contact with the front desk clerk who advised that he heard multiple shots being fired approximately 15 minutes prior to the officer's arrival. When officers arrived on scene, officers made contact with the defendant, later identified before you, Mr. Mitchell. Officers observed on the surveillance camera that the defendant did discharge a gun or pistol at this location, was the South Side Inn. Officers did not observe if there was any, as officers indicated, anybody near the offender at the time. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 2 days credit for time served, balance probated, a $300 fine to enroll and complete the firearm safety, and also to forfeit the weapon used in this incident. One moment, Your Honor.
Did you say $200 or $300 fine?
A $300 fine.
Okay, I got it.
And Mr. Lynch, I just want to confirm, is there anything else holding Mr. Mitchell in custody?
I believe that he recently was sentenced to probation. I don't think he has additional time where he's about to be released to probation on the case. Yeah. My understanding is that he resolved his case and he's going to be released to felony probation at this time.
Okay, Your Honor, the state will just request for these cases to run consecutive. However, if he completes everything, the state will ask for the second 12 months to be terminated.
Okay,
No objection.
all right. All right, so Mr. Mitchell, you had quite a run of foolishness and shenanigans here. Have we cleared whatever it is that had you in this cycle of mess?
Yes, ma'am. I was heavily drinking every day. I was around a lot of wrong type of people, and I stopped drinking. I've been in Cedartown, Georgia, helping with my aunt and family for about going on 4 years, ever since the last incident in 2022. I haven't had any issues. I haven't gotten into any trouble. I'm just focusing on just progressing and taking care of myself and getting back, everything that I lost during that process.
Okay, good. Like I said, a lot of times when we see somebody going along fine, and then they got a string of things that are all like close together, there's usually been some incident, either a traumatic incident or a grief event. Somebody you're close to may have passed, or may have an illness and you're dealing with that. Caretakers sometimes go through this. So what I say is, once you acknowledge that those things can happen, then you can focus on like realizing that's what it is, and then take care of yourself. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you feel yourself falling back into the struggle, I would just suggest go sit in on an AA meeting. The reason I like AA is not because that I don't suffer from addiction, but I know people who have talked about the fact that when you talk to somebody who's going through the same thing you're going through, or who has progressed past the point that you're at, but they can still talk about what you went through, then there's a lot of healing in that, because you don't feel like you're the only one who's ever suffered it, one, and you don't have that shame of somebody judging you. You got me? So just step into a meeting and just listen. Even if you don't want to share at that point, listen and know that you are not by yourself. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. And I'm glad that you are getting past this and acknowledging that this was an issue, that you had some things going on that needed to be adjusted. So I'm going to accept your pleas on case 2023 CR 02041. It's a NOLO plea. On count 1, count 2 will be no pros. The NOLO plea is a $100 suspended fine. That will run concurrent with case 2022 CR 03475. So on count 1, it's a guilty plea. I'll accept your plea. Count 2 will merge. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 24 hours credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $300. It's going to be a lot more than that because of the surcharges that come with the DUI. And then on count, then it's a 40 hours of community service, substance abuse evaluation, and any treatment that might be ordered. You're to have no alcohol or illicit drugs during the course of the probation. You're subject to random screens for alcohol and drugs, and you'll take a risk reduction course. Count the case 2023 CR 01605 will run consecutive to count to the case 2022 CR 03475. And in that case, you're to complete any special conditions not finished as a part of 03475. And you also will have 12 months, 2 days credit for time served, a fine in the amount of $300, and a firearm safety class. And you're to forfeit the firearm that was the subject of this charge. So as soon as you complete all of the special conditions of probation, then your probation can terminate. So if you complete everything in the first 12 months, you don't have to get started on the second 12 months. But if you complete everything at some earlier point in the second 12 months, then your probation is completion. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you. And you go back with the sheriff's office. Let me tell you something though. The quickest way to get rearrested is to not appear for your probation reports or to not keep in touch with your probation officer. If there is anything that you're struggling with or something going on, your probation officers are your best line because they will go to bat for you as long as you're doing what you need to do. You understand?
Yes.
All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office. Okay. I wish you well, Mr. Mitchell.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Could we go back through the jail calendar?
We can.
I just have some announcements, and I think Ms. Tortorella may be clearing up the last couple of matters we have that she's dealing with.
Okay.
So you want me to go through it? So I have position 1, Austin Clark, that was a plea.
Right.
Robert Barnes, I did speak to him, Judge. I'm likely going to be submitting a evaluation, but I want to try to follow up on that if we could continue it to next week. Or
all right. 1 week.
Henry Carroll
will be continued for 1 week. He can go back.
Okay. Henry Carroll was a plea.
Yes.
Chambers, I believe, is going to be a plea, but Ms. Tortorella is finishing up with that. Collier, we didn't deal with. He's pending eval. Cruz was a plea. Dixon's gone. James was a Miss Stokes. She entered a not guilty. Johnson was a plea. Maddox was a plea. Major was resolved. McNabb, Your Honor, I did request that get placed on this calendar for a plea to resolve all of his cases.
Okay.
The court for doing that.
When we say all of his cases, how many?
He has 5, well, really 4, but counting the traffic case, I believe he has 5 pending cases. And I had negotiated something to resolve all these cases. And Judge, just to be quite honest, I'm trying to make sure that stays where it is, but there have been some issues that come up. So I'll just ask if the court would indulge me and put him on the calendar for next week. And I won't.
Let me ask you this. So I only see 1 case. What you're asking me for is to put all 4 cases for McNabb on next week's calendar to be resolved with a plea.
Yes, Judge. And I apologize for the miscommunication about that. This was something that I've been negotiating about, but if it's not one thing, it's another as far as.
That's okay. I'm just clarifying because I only have 1 case on this calendar and it's a 2024. If you all just make sure that all of the other cases that we need to resolve are on the calendar for next week, so we can do that.
Thank you, Judge, and I appreciate that. I don't mean to request stuff for a plea and then not do a plea. Some issues kind of came up.
All right.
And then Joshua Mitchell was combative, and I need to make additional efforts to get him to talk to me, Judge.
All right, 1 week or 2?
I would say 1.
Okay. So Mr. Mitchell can go back. He's going to
be the 24th, Judge.
I'm sorry?
You're going to have to put that on the 24th.
24th.
Or the 17th.
Of June?
Yes, not the 10th.
Okay, 17th then.
Hakeem Owens was a
plea.
Rhodes.
Yeah, the rest of the jail calendar we've resolved. So Owens, Rhodes, Sims, Smith, and Willis. Owens, Rhodes, Sims, Smith were all pleas, and Willis was a not guilty plea.
So I believe then we're just holding on Chambers off the jail calendar, and Mr. Stokes and Miss Lyman off the OTB calendar, and then we'll be done. I
Yes.
will try to see if I can, matter of fact,
And Mr. Lynch, do you need anything from the state in those remaining cases? I know
No.
we was discussing whether or not you needed some things, but I think Ms. Arnold had sent those over.
he did. Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem. Just send me a text if you need anything.
Thank
All right.
If Ms. Lyman, if you're on the call, if you could hear me, if you have not already talked to Ms. Tortorello, I'm going to attempt to call your phone number. However, it looks like when you chatted it, you didn't include all the digits. Could you potentially chat your phone number again? I only see 678-5078.
Okay, I'm finna do it now.
Okay. And then go ahead and mute your mic because I'm going to call you.
Okay.
I do have an announcement off the arraignment calendar for Ms. Lyman. Judge, at this time, Ms. Lyman does wish to enter a not guilty plea. I've discussed the basis of the charge and the recommendation with her. And I have all her contact information. I believe she has the court updated as well. She did receive notice.
All right, so Ms. Lyman, please make sure that you keep in touch with your attorneys. Please make sure that if they ask you to provide anything to be prepared for trial, that you do that. And that way they can update you in case anything comes along that changes the recommendation, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go at this time.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too. All right, so that, I guess on the arraignment calendar, I still have Stokes. And on the jail calendar, I still have, on the jail calendar, I still have, I'm sorry, yeah, arraignment calendar Stokes, and on the jail calendar Chambers.
So Judge, I know Ms. Tortorella had issue getting in touch with Mr. Stokes, and then he sent a message saying he lost connection, had to log back on, but I don't see him on.
Yeah, he got stuck at some point because I was trying to communicate with him. I do not see that he's back on.
I can try to call the phone number that I have for him.
Yeah, call him. If not, we're gonna have to put him back on to the 17th. Because he was here. I'll give him the technical issues. But yeah. Okay, so are we ready on Chambers?
Yes, Your Honor. We're just moving forward with the traffic case.
Okay.
And her battery case, she's we're gonna just plead not guilty.
All right. All right, so not guilty on for Chambers is going to be a not guilty on case 2025 CR 05429. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then on case 2024 CR 10268, that's the we're moving forward on the traffic offense. Ms. Chambers, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Tiffany Monique Chambers, 2024 CR 10268 for no tag expired or invalid tag, no insurance. You're represented by Attorney Tortorella, who's with you at the podium. Ms. Tortorella, what does she plead to the offenses before the court?
For no tag will be a guilty plea, and for no insurance will be a nolo.
All right, by entering a plea of guilty to count 2, a nolo to count 3, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, and to not incriminate yourself or present testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Defense.
Yes.
The facts.
All right, stipulation, recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On count 1, it's a $100 fine suspended. Count 2 is a $200 fine suspended.
All right, so Ms. Chambers, count 1 will be a $100 fine suspended for time served. Count 2 is a $200 fine suspended for count served. Ma'am, you have the remaining case that you've entered a not guilty plea is a battery case. So should you get out of jail on bond, please make sure you check your bond conditions. If you do not get a copy of them when you leave the jail, then once you are out of jail, go to the clerk's office on the first floor of this building and get a copy of your bond conditions. Your bond conditions will most likely say that you're not to have contact with a particular person. and possibly not to go back to a particular location. If you were to violate your bond conditions, yes, ma'am, if you have a bond on a battery case, you got bond conditions. If you were to violate those bond conditions by having contact with the person that you're prohibited to have contact with, then you could have your bond revoked. You could be put back in jail. You could also be charged with additional misdemeanors or felonies, particularly the felony of aggravated stalking, which is punishable by up to 10 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, or both. So please be mindful, even if that person contacts you, keep a record of it, share that information with your attorney, but do not respond. Are we clear?
I had a question.
If you have questions, ask your attorney, okay? All right, so I'm just giving you a caution about your bond conditions. I'm not saying you've done anything. I'm just telling you what could happen if you were to have contact with the person on your bond conditions, okay? All right, and Ms. Tortorello can explain anything you have a question about.
As far as
anything I've said. Okay, the traffic case is over, but you still have to keep in touch with her regarding your resolution of the battery case, okay?
all right.
All right, thank you. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and I don't see Stokes back on. If y'all can contact Mr. Stokes. Oh, Mr. Stokes is back. Mr. Stokes, can we get you? Let me see if I can get him to unmute.
Your Honor, while we're waiting on that, Mr. Tipton is going to handle the last case with Mr. Stokes, and I wanted to see if I could be excused while he handled that matter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Mr. Stokes. Okay. Mr. Stokes?
Mr. Stokes is on the call.
Hello?
Hey,
Mr. Stokes.
Hello?
All right, Mr. Stokes,
Hello?
okay, there you are. I see you and I hear you, okay? Do you hear me?
Okay.
All right.
I was panicking.
That's okay. No, I was just gonna move you to another calendar, but that's okay because you were here. I'm not mean. I'm not gonna give somebody a bench warrant and they were here. So, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lynch, do you have an announcement for Mr. Stokes?
Yes, Judge. We are going to enter a not guilty plea at this time.
Okay.
But we are going to go through it later today. I did tell him the offer and the recommendation. We're going to go through with the fine tooth comb, and if he decides to change his plea, we will make the court know that as early as possible. But today we'll enter a not guilty plea.
All right. So, Mr. Stokes, your attorney is entering a not guilty plea on your behalf. So just be mindful that you have to keep in touch with your attorneys. Things may change with respect to offers, with respect to getting prepared for trial, any of those things. So they always need to be able to get in touch with you, okay? Should any of your information change, your phone number, your email, your address, any of those things, let your attorneys know first.
Okay.
You got me?
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right. So take care, sir. And like I said, keep in touch with your attorneys.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. So thank you, everybody. I think that concludes both the arraignment and the jail arraignment calendar. I will be signing. So if there's stuff that needs to be signed, I'll be signing and just send it over. And welcome, Ms. Tortorello to Team Hayward.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
Judge.
All right. Hey, Mr. Tipton.
Hey, Your Honor, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Went to Judge Garrett's courtroom first this morning, then took lunch and came back. Looks like I came back just in time to not do anything.
I know, right? Isn't that something?
That's
all right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
All right.